Hi, my name's Christian Baldwin, and I'm the turfgrass scientist at Jacqueline Seed by Simplot. And thank you for listening to our podcast series called Jacqueline Net News. In this edition, the discovery and science of the glyrise will be discussed. The origins of the glyrise, which consist of the cultivars JS501 and Replay, can be traced back to one of our East Coast turfgrass trials. Each year, Jacqueline Seed plants thousands of individual 3-foot by 5-foot turf plots, and from these plots, our breeders begin to make selections for desired traits. In this picture, you can likely pick out the plots simply based on genetic color. In 1999, at the conclusion of this trial in Maryland, the sod farmer sprayed 2 full-strength applications of glyphosate to kill the existing stand of turf in order to prep the land for new seeding. However, one plot out of thousands had surviving plants following the applications. Our breeders harvested the surviving plants and entered them into the breeding program. It took Jacqueline breeders several years to refine and concentrate 2 copies of the naturally mutated gene into each plant. Therefore, the glyrise are not GMOs. Since the glyrise are not GMOs, they have a finite limit in herbicide tolerance. As you can see, the glyrise have less tolerance than a GMO or Roundup Ready product, but more tolerance than a traditional perennial ryegrass or annual bluegrass plant. Therefore, our target weed is to eradicate annual bluegrass or Poa annua. The previous slides were a brief description of how the glyrise were discovered. The next few slides will discuss how the glyrise tolerate glyphosate. Essentially, glyphosate kills the plant because it inhibits the EPS-PS enzyme. Without this, amino acids are not produced, which starts a cascade of events within the plant that ultimately kills the plant. A precursor to the EPS-PS is shikimate, so keep that in the back of your mind as I proceed to the next slide. This is work completed at Oregon State University by Dr. Carol Mallory Smith. This chart essentially explains how the glyrise are able to tolerate glyphosate. Dr. Mallory Smith applied a 12-ounce per acre rate to 4 cultivars. Prelude and LPS are 2 sensitive, non-tolerant cultivars, while the glyrise, JS501 and Replay, are the tolerant cultivars. Following her application, Dr. Mallory Smith measured shikimate, the precursor to the EPS-PS enzyme. 120 hours after application, the 2 sensitive cultivars had a big spike in shikimate, while the glyrise had minimal shikimate accumulation. This indicates that the EPS-PS enzyme in the glyrise is functioning normally in the presence of glyphosate. Finally, here's a picture from her trial. You can see the glyrise plants are green and healthy 14 days after an application at a 12-ounce per acre rate. For more information regarding breeding history and science behind the glyrise tolerance, consult the 2011 poster presented at the agronomy meetings in San Antonio, Texas by Jacqueline breeder Susan Samudio. Well, thank you for listening to this edition of Jacqueline Net News. Stay tuned for future presentations that will discuss specific management tips for the glyrise.